Alright, so at number 6, I have the K24A. Alright, so why did I go with the K24A at number 6? Alright, so pretty much it's pretty pricey, and I've seen a lot of people just for that amount of price and money go with a K20A, the Type R one. So pretty much that's why I have the K24A at number 6. I haven't really seen a lot of people swap these engines on them. I've seen them being sold, so I know that there's people out there that also have them, but I haven't seen them here too much. Alright, so the K24A, they're all JDM engines. So they came out on the 04 to 06 Accord, and from the 06 to 08 Accord. Alright, so on the 04 and 06, it's pretty much the same specs. Looking about 197 horsepower and about 171 foot-pounds of torque. They have a compression of 10.5 to 1. So it's a pretty good engine if you have the money to buy it. Alright, and then you're going to also have the 08 to 13 Accord Type S. Alright, so this one has a little bit more of a horsepower. You're looking about maybe 205, 206 or so, with 170 foot-pounds of torque. And then this one has a compression of 11. So if you're looking for a K24, these are JDM. They're gonna be fairly pricey. I seen them go for like close to 4,000, 5 or so. So all right. So at number 6, I have the K28, the K24A. All right. So at number 5. I'm going to go with the K20A, which is the Type R. Alright, so why am I going with the K20A at number 5? Alright, first of all, it's not a really affordable engine to get. Yeah, it'll be the best one to get out of the whole K series if you actually have the money to get it. So that's why I'm putting it at number 5, because it's not that affordable to get. I mean, you can still get it if you save your pennies and stuff, but it's not affordable to get. It's actually the most expensive one to get, being that's a Type R. Alright, so on the K20A, alright, so the K20A pretty much came on you got the 2001, 2005 Civic Type R. You're going to have it on the 2001, 2006 Integra Type R, 2007, 2011 Civic Type R, which that one is the best one, coming in at a good 222 horsepower with 159 foot-pounds of torque. Out of the whole K20A, that's the one that came out in the 07 to 2011 Civic Type R. It's the best one if you have the money to get. And then you're also going to have the 09 to 2012 Civic Type R Euro. This one came at 198 horsepower with 142 pounds of torque. So pretty much on the Euro one, you're looking about 11 compression. And then on the Type R, the 07 to 11 Civic Type R, you're looking about 11.7 on compression. That's the highest compression out of all of them, with the rest of the K20 A at 11.5. So the Civic Type R, the 2001-2005, which is an EP3, that one came at 212 horsepower with 150 foot-pounds of torque. And then you're going to have the DC5, which is the Integra Type R, 217, which is not bad either, with 152 foot-pounds of torque. And keep in mind, all these engines, they rev high, so that's pretty good too. So at number 5, I have the K20A too, and for reasons is just it's not affordable and it's really expensive to get. But if you have the money, that's the best one if you want to go with a K20. Alright, so at number 4, I'm going to go with the K20Z3, which is found on the 2006 to 2011 Honda Civic Si. Alright, so why am I going with this at number 4? Alright, so keep in mind all these engines that I'm mentioning are all true VTEC. So they all have 3 lobe intake cams and 3 lobe exhaust cams. Alright, so on the K20C3, I went with it number 4. All right, so you're gonna find the K20C3s. I've seen people get lucky and get them really affordable, but for the most part, you're gonna spend a little bit to get them. So not as much as the previous ones I've just mentioned. So at number 4, I'm gonna have the K20C3. All right, so on the K20C3, you have about 197 horsepower at 139 foot-pounds of torque. It revs high too. It's revving at 7,800 with foot-pounds of torque at 6,200. Alright, it's a USDM spec motor, which means it's from the US. Alright, and then the compression is pretty high. I have a compression at 11, which is really good. Alright, so on the K20 C3, alright, it uses the same camshaft as K20A, so it's pretty good. And for the most part, it's gonna require you to use donor parts from the K28 too. So that's why I have the K20 C3 at number 4. Alright, so at number 3, I am going with the K20A2. Alright, the K20A2, out of the whole bunch that I just mentioned so far, it's the cheapest one by far if you want a performance I-Vtec K-series engine. You can find them in abundance, so it's probably going to be my favorite one out of the whole list. It's just because it's affordable, and if you want to go fast, it's a good choice to go. Also, with time, out of the whole list, the K24, I'm not too sure about the K20A, but the K20A1 and the K24, the K24A1 and the K24A2 are among the most easiest ones if you want to do a hybrid swap, which means if you want to do a K20 swap head on it, so without doing any modifications to the internals. So that's something to keep in mind if you want to buy one of these engines, and you want to swap, put a K20 head, kind of do a hybrid swap. You might want to go with the K20A2. I really don't know too much about the K20A, but on the K20A2 you could. Alright, so on the K24A, it's going to be found in the TSX 04 to 05 and 06 to 08. Alright, so these are also USDM, also JDM, with a compression of 10.5, and the only difference out of the year from 04 to 05 to 06 to 08 is it gained a little bit more horsepower, and the 04 to 05 is at 200 with 6,800 RPMs, opposed to the 205 with 7,000 RPMs. And torque is about the same, so it's any difference on that. So on the K28 too, you're going to require to do a lot of modifications for it to actually be compatible to an old chassis. If you're switching it to an old chassis, you're going to have to obviously require a lot of parts from the K28 too. Engine wiring harness, you're going to have to swap the oil pump too as well for old 2 Type S. So it's going to require a lot of modifications, but it's pretty much worth it, being that this motor is the cheapest one out of all. Alright, so that's the K20A2 at number 3. Alright, and at number 2 we have the K20C1. Alright, so the K20C1 is found in the 05 to 06 RSX Type S. Alright, so the K20C1, like I said, it's a predecessor of the K20A2. It came with a little bit more horsepower and torque. Why didn't I put it at number 1? Well, for starters, the K20C1, it's still a pretty pricey engine, being that a lot of people want this option. I don't blame him. And then from what I can see, it uses the same camshaft as the K20A. Same with the K20C3. But you're also going to be requiring a lot of donor parts from the K28 too. So this is where it comes to effect. So even though you're going to be spending a lot of money for it, you're going to be spending also additionally to make it compatible. So buying pretty much like the wiring harness and stuff like that from a Type SO2. So that's why I have the K20C1 at number 2, being that's one of the favorable ones to get, opposed to the all of them. So, and price wise, I'm pretty much gonna have to put the K20A being the highest, then following with the K24A being the highest, and price as well. Those are the two highest in price. With the one that I'm about to mention right now, which is the K20A2, that'll be pretty much the third one, highest on price, following with the K20Z1, then the K20Z3, and then the K24A2. Alright, so number 1, you already guessed it, it's going to be the K20A2. Reasons why I went with the K20A2 is because pretty much you'll buy this motor and you won't have to buy any donor parts whatsoever. Whatever you have from the K20A2 you can actually reuse and use on your old chassis. So that's why I have it at number 1. Even though you're going to be spending a good amount of money on it, you will not be required to do a lot of changes on it. So that's a plus, being that you don't have to spend a little bit more just to modify it or to change, make it compatible with your chassis, with the old chassis and stuff like that. Pretty much it's true VTEC. It's the easiest engine to use, complete on a complete drop swap. It has pretty much aluminum PRB intake manifold, the same as the K20A. This engine was pretty much found, as you can see, on the 02 to 04 R6 Type S, and it's pretty much going to be the number 1 on my list to get. You're looking at about 200 horsepower with 7,400 RPMs, and then torque 142 with 6,000 RPM. It also has a compression of 11. But this one's number 1 on my list because out of the whole USDM spec ones, you will not need to have a donor for this one. So as soon as you buy it, you can just buy aftermarket parts if you want to upgrade stuff on it without having to make it compatible. So that's why I went with the K20A2 at number 1. And as price, you're gonna spend a good amount to get this motor. It's not the cheapest one out of the whole list. Cheapest one out of the whole list would probably be the K20A2, but the best one on being successful at completing your swap quick and having easy would probably be the K20A2. So yeah,